Hey everyone, it's the Trendy Socialite. It is Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and I just wanted to come to you to sort of share with you where I've been for the past couple of weeks. I haven't uploaded a video recently, and I wanted to share with you what's been going on in my life and just to tell you about that. Let's see. Well, the last 2 weeks have been a test of my faith, a test of my patience, a test of my relationship with the Lord. On maybe Saturday a couple of weeks ago, I found out that my mother's sister, Sadie King, my aunt, was sick and was in the hospital. She had had a reaction to some medication after having a cyst removed. And, you know, I was concerned, I really was, but I thought that things were going to be okay. Sunday, my mom told me that she talked to her and she was wheezing, was having trouble catching her breath. And so when she spoke to my uncle, my aunt's husband, she said, I think we might need to get a chest x-ray for Sadie to see if she has pneumonia. So they did Sunday night into Monday and found out that she did indeed have pneumonia. So they started treating that pretty aggressively with some antibiotics on Monday evening. Monday afternoon, my mom and my dad went to see her, prayed with her. My mom hugged her, told her that she loved her, and said that she would see her the following day on her way back home from going to a meeting with my father. And my aunt said, well, I will probably be home by then, so you can just come to the house. And my mom's like, okay, Sadie, you just do what the doctor says. My aunt was always like that. Well, about 3 o'clock Tuesday morning, her condition was worse, and so they sent her from intermediate care to the ICU. 5 minutes after she arrived at ICU, she coded. The doctors brought her back, and they worked on her really, really hard for about an hour. And my cousin, her son, and my uncle, her husband, were there when all of this was occurring. And they overheard a nurse saying, it was the woman we just brought in. And my cousin told my uncle, I think that's Mom. So they asked after a while if they could see her. And the doctor said yes. And as they walked in, the respiratory therapist who was doing the chest compressions for CPR said, is it time to call it? And my aunt passed away about 4:30 Tuesday, I believe May 18th. Unexpectedly and suddenly. My family has been in such a state of upheaval since that day. I was awakened by the phone at 6:30. I was home alone, and I was like, who in the world is calling this early? And I thought it may have been someone else, regarding another situation. So I went downstairs, looked at the phone, and saw that it was my cousin's cell phone number. And I'm like, oh God. Thinking maybe even, that her condition has gotten worse. They may be calling the family in. I was preparing myself for bad news with a phone call that early in the morning. It never crossed my mind that the words coming out of my cousin's mouth would be that his mom, my aunt, passed away. I can't even tell you the emotion that I have. I think I'm still in a state of shock. I'm just in a state of disbelief. I really am. So the morning that it happened, somehow got myself dressed. My mother's armor bearers drove me to Raleigh. I walked in the door, collapsed in my dad's arms, collapsed in my mom's arms. Well, actually sort of held her because that was her only sister. And, you know, I cried, went through the house, you know, talking to different people, hugging, crying. And about 30 minutes later, the Lord just really said, okay, we have got to plan your aunt's homegoing, and you need to take, you know, some of this pressure, some of this stuff off of your family. And so the Lord just really blessed me. He gave me the strength, He gave me the grace to be able to help my uncle and his two children, my aunt's two children, a boy and a girl, to be able to plan what was a marvelous celebratory homegoing celebration for my aunt. I don't talk much about my family on YouTube. My family is pretty small. My dad is an only child, so I don't have any aunts and uncles on that side. My mom had a sister and two brothers, so my grandparents had 4 kids. My aunt was a twin, and it seems so strange to say was, it just does. She was a twin. My mom was a twin, but her twin passed away at birth, pretty much. And so it was, my grandparents had 4 kids. Out of the 4 kids, my mom and her siblings, they had 4 kids. So we've always been a relatively small, but really, really tight-knit family. We spent all of our holidays together, you know, throughout the year. You know, July 4th, you know, they would come, you know, here and stuff. And so it's just been a really, really tough and trying time for my family right now. And that's why I've been sort of off of YouTube